When you're reading to your child, elbow to elbow, knee to knee, they're on your lap, they're lying in bed, you're lying beside them, and they can see the book, see your print. I asked one little guy, how do you your mom or your teacher know those words to read? And they go, they point at them. And I go, well, how does that work? So they knew that each one of those things was a word. They knew that the teacher was saying that word, but they didn't understand how to put the sounds together to make that word, the d, a, g sound. Even though they could say, well, you know, I think the teacher just guesses at it. Well, no, the clues are all there in the writing. When you're reading to your child too, using lots of expression and even actions can help your child see in their mind the picture the words are painting. What they say about good readers is that as they are reading, they're getting a picture in their mind of what their author is telling them. For example, there was a dog. So I'm picturing a St. Bernard. He was a little dog. Oh, I have to reevaluate that. Now I'm thinking little. I'm thinking of a little Chihuahua. He barked very loud. I'm thinking, woof. He had brown spots. So I add that information. So as you're reading, the picture's like a movie. It keeps changing and evolving in your mind. And then the dog ran across the field. So now I'm picturing the little dog with the brown and white spots who's barking really loud, running across the field. Sometimes I'll read something and I'll say, okay, I want you to draw a picture of what you just saw in your mind, what those words drew in your mind. And that's really kind of important to get that skill, that idea of comprehending, that we're not just randomly pointing at words or making you go, the dog jumped over the moon. You know, like we're not, it's about getting that comprehension. But the very first part of decoding is we have to practice those skills. So that's kind of where it's a real transition age in there to try to move from sounding out each letter to getting that picture. But when you're reading out loud to your child, that's where they can really practice that skill so that when they start reading, that skill's kind of ingrained to them. Bedtime stories are a way to expand your child's world, bond with them, and share a cuddle. Pointing out a few words they might know or asking occasional questions is great, but simply showing your child the enjoyment you get from reading is very valuable. They need to see that, oh, you're enjoying this book. It's not just, okay, one book and we're done. Like you're trying to instill a love of reading, a love of words and playing with words to your child. And finally, words are all around us. Reading is not just for books, but necessary for daily life. For example, some people will never read a fiction book, but will read their Skidoo manual from cover to cover. So it's really important that we realize that reading has a purpose. If I'm in a fire, I want to be able to read the sign that says fire exit. If I'm in a mall, I want to know where I find the ladies section. I need to know where to find the bathrooms or the washrooms, and I'm reading to do that. So you can help your kids, even like if you're driving down the street, can you see something that starts with a big M? Well, there's McDonald's. So you're looking at print and words as being not just a book, not just in the library, but all around us. Point out when you're reading to get information. Leave notes for them to read in their lunch kits or on their pillow. Encourage them to try writing notes to you or grandma or the dog. Ask grandma to write back. Have them help you read a recipe or instructions. Most importantly, we need to have kids realize how being able to read will help them in their daily life and that we read for various purposes. I read for enjoyment, but I also read to find things out. As you can probably tell, I could talk about literacy all night, but hopefully you have a few ideas on how you can encourage and help your child to read.